Introducing the 1-2-3 method, originally developed for the Swedish people, but can be applied to any country moving towards a totalitarian state in a tiptoeing manner. Used when determining the subject's level of participation or involvement in the destruction of a civil society.
The destruction of a country and its people demands a few personality types. Besides the participation of media and government institutions, and also the market players, companies, etc. The people are key in the outcome of how their society should be built. Dr. Friedrich Schplittenhairs believes that people have abandoned and lost belief in the power that they actually have, and has given it away to so-called experts after years of having been told that they don't have the necessary expertise and knowledge in building societies. But Dr. Friedrich Schplittenhairs says that all that is needed is a common sense and allowing oneself to feel what is actually right and wrong. It's actually a quite simple matter, according to Dr. Friedrich Schplittenhairs.
But sometimes when the clouds obscure the sun, I wonder why my day is as narrow as the road that winds upon its way.
We talked to Dr. Friedrich Schplittenhairs, research and developer of the Globalist 1-2-3 tool, and he explains. The 1-2-3 method should be considered a tool for determining the level of participation of the subject regarding his or her consciousness and intellectual capacity in the destructive behavior taking place. Is it emotionally, ideologically, religious, or economically driven actions or inactions taking place? Is it based on fear, hate, or the need for acceptance of the subject's group belonging? What is the motivation behind the action or non-action taking place? Based on the categorization, one can take measures in protecting oneself. Is it possible to reach the subject, or is it merely a waste of time and energy? Will the outcome of the method lead to giving the subject the proper help or the proper punishment? This is up to the user of the method or the tool to determine. The method can also be applied to companies and organizations.
Like an anti-masculine Gillette commercial. It makes like every man look like a misogynist piece of shit. It's such a disturbing commercial. It's like over and over again, men doing douchey shit. Like, hey, bro, aren't you selling razors?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? You changing the world with your shitty fucking advertiser-based philosophy? What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Who fucking greenlit this?
I know.
If I was at Gillette, I'd be like, yo, guys, people get hair, they want to fucking shave it. It's not that complicated. Yeah. You're not gonna fix. Imagine if you're a sexist, rapist piece of shit, and you see that Gillette commercial, like, damn, I gotta switch my game up.
Yeah.
I've been too much of a dick. Like, does anybody think that Gillette commercials are somehow or another in any way, shape, or form gonna affect culture?
It's bad.
You're selling razors.
Well, in my research, I have concluded that there are three main motivations behind the destruction of the civil world. And you are either on the purely evil spectrum or on the more brain damaged spectrum. and these are categorized and put into three parts for simplifying the matter. In researching these matters of how a nation can move towards a more totalitarian police state with heavy surveillance and great restrictions on the movement and the freedom of its people, it is determined on the three factors that most people can be categorized in. And I will now move through these, and they are based on these. They are based in the heavy polarization that is taking place, where one side is more concerned about having the right to decide over their own nation and what they should do and be allowed, and having freedom of speech and so on, and the other side, which is usually more on the left-leaning side, who wants heavy taxation and more regulation on the people's lives and how they go about their days. And it can be everything from small restrictions taking place to more stronger regulation. And what is almost always taking place is the heavy taxation, while taking away what you actually are receiving for this money that you are paying to the so-called elite. It is now more and more being known that most of the world, at least in the Western world, and probably the whole world, that there are a few people deciding and wanting to have more power over the rest of the world, and they're working through implementing global taxations. And one thing you can do this with is by introducing the so-called climate change thing. So if you manage to have a global taxation on a global scale, you will also need institutions that can facilitate and make sure that these taxes are being managed and brought in. So you need a sort of a system for this, and because you have this, you also need someone that can ensure that this money is coming in, and so you need a global police as well, and a global court system. And there you have it. That is the beginning of the totalitarian world government. So one is usually these things are being brought in with the so-called Agenda 2030, which was formerly known as Agenda 2021, and it is something that we can see all the way through on the global arena, all the way down on the local level. And the media is very complicit in this, and but so is also the average person, usually by not caring and not wanting to get involved, or being what I would call brainwashed, or simply not interested. They are instead more interested in things like in television programming, or over-exaggerated interest in sports, and and the like. But it is very important, since the people are usually nice people who wants to just live their lives and enjoy a good living with their family and friends and make a living and work. But if you take away more and more things and that you work, but you have to give all your money away for this.
It's just an illusion.
Entities that are using the money that you are working and giving them, and they are using the money to destroy you more, and people lose faith. But we also have peoples that are buying into all this, and also companies, because of different regulations, and you can have advantages if you play along, and you will be punished if you don't get along. Now, in these days, they want to how should I say? They want to expand the powers that they have, and centralize more and more, so that the local communities and the individual is put on hold, while the greater collective is seeing more benefits, so they say. But every time that you put the collective before the individual, it always goes the same way. We have seen this in history being repeated over and over again. The people has to realize that they have more power than they think, and that everyone is responsible and have an obligation to make sure that the society is being kept free. And if we do not speak our minds, the dark forces will eventually take over. And so this method is a way of determining and finding out who the person is actually working for, or what their motives are. It could be either that they are brainwashed and do not care or do not realize, or that they are being peer pressured by their friends and family and at the workplace and so on, and that they are, and that's what I would call a coward.
What kind of a topsy-turvy world do we live in, where heroes are cast as villains, brave men as cowards?
But I saw you push the women and children out of the way in a mad panic. I saw you knock them down. And when you ran out, you left everyone behind.
Seemingly. To the untrained eye, I can fully understand how you got that impression.
And then they are the perpetrators, the complicit ones that are actually involved and are in different levels, earning a living of this by creating the chaos and putting heavy regulation in and destroying society, because of they make money off of this, or that they are simply just pure evil and strangely ideologically driven, either by fanaticism of religious or politically, or have a very strange and inhuman philosophy as the base in which they make the decisions for the rest of us. And it is usually lying, deceiving, and the media is also very complicit in this. And so this is a tool for the average person to find out if they know if this person a pure evil person, or is this person just purely a little bit stupid. So this is the tool I have developed, and it's absolutely for free, and this is my research, and I hope that it will be for the benefit of all mankind, and that everyone can take their responsibility and find a way out into the light and not be part of this dark agenda, and instead work for what is good and true and right. And I think that every person in the heart know what is right and what is wrong, and there is no need for experts to tell them what to think or what to do, and they should not believe what these people are saying and that they cannot decide for themselves just because they are having a low wage work and no education. It's very possible that even the most uneducated person can still engage in philosophy and thinking on a higher scale. Everything is not about high physics or things of that matter. It is up to the average person to just decide for themselves what is good and feel what is in the heart, what is best for all peoples. And this is not a thing that is about to crush or being against other peoples in other regions or other parts of the world or anything like that.
Baby, they got horses!
Should we tell her that fence is electric?
No, hell no. Baby, you're scaring the horses. What'd you do?
I peed my pants.
Showing what these so-called elites are up to and what their end game is a scary scenario that we face in the future if we keep silent. So, but this tool is for everyone to enjoy and use. It is easy. All you have to do is remember 1, 2, 3 globalist, something like that. The globalist tool, the globalist 1, 2, 3 tool. But yes, you get the point. So, thank you everyone.